Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex. Today we're going to be tasting 4 different types of Taiwanese oolong, high mountain oolong. We're going to be doing a Ginseng, a half-baked, a baked, which is roasted, and then we're going to do an aged roasted oolong as well. And these tea samples are from the Yanho Tong Tea Company, and this is the package that it came in. For one of them, they all come in like this foil wrapping with the clips, and this one is the half-baked. You can see like the sticker there. So yeah, I have 10 grams of leaf in each of these cup brewers, and the water is boiled. So we're going to go ahead and get started with these tastings. And I'll talk about each tea individually like as we go through. So yeah, let's start off with the Ginseng here. I'm going to fill these only halfway, and we're going to do 20-second infusions. So we have the infusions here. I'll slide these up to the front. So we have our Ginseng. This one is pretty light. It looks very green. It looks pretty thick and yellowy green, like a pale color. Then we have the half-baked, and the color of this liqueur looks a little darker than the Ginseng, but still very similar. Then you have the baked, and this one looks a little bit darker than a little bit darker, but very similar to the half-baked. And then the aged roasted oolong is looking a lot darker. So we're gonna go take a look at these leaves. Alright, so the smell of the Ginseng, this is the milk oolong variety that comes from Taiwan, and it definitely does have like that milky aroma off the wet leaf, very like high mountain Alishan oolong smell. Then the wet leaf of the half-baked. It smells kind of like a strawberry jam kind of aroma, with a little bit of like a toasted note, but not too toasted. And very different from the Ginseng. Then we have the fully baked, and this one smells very similar to the half-baked. I'll show you that. And there was a distinct color difference between the Ginseng and the half-baked. Between the baked and the half-baked, not so much of a color difference. And then the aged baked oolong. So you can see the difference between the leaf colors. I'll do this one compared to the full baked, and the aroma coming off this. The full bake still has kind of like a buttery kind of milky aroma like that you see in the Ginseng, and This one doesn't really have that. It has kind of like a deeper note. A deeper toasted kind of aroma. I don't know. We're gonna taste this one to see like how those flavors come out. And let me just show you these next to each other, the half-baked and the Ginseng. And I'll do the baked next to the Ginseng. Or that's the aged baked. Alright. So we have our leaves, we have our teas. Let's put these off to the side. I'm going to keep them in order so I can do another tasting, or yeah, another second infusion. Alright, so I transferred these teas to smaller cups just so they can cool down a little bit and I can sip on them easier. And you can tell a little bit better the color difference, like in the smaller cups too, I found. This is the Ginseng, and it is a very smooth tea. There is some of that like very green flavor that the Ginseng Oolong does have. It is a little light for the first infusion, so I'm going to see how this tea develops in flavor in the second infusion. The half-baked has a very nice, the roast on this tea, it brings out some of the fragrant floral notes, and it also adds a nice balanced toasted flavor that I really like for this tea. And this is just the first infusion, so it'll be interesting to see how that flavor develops. Very, very nice. The smells coming off these teas too are just so beautiful. Compared to the half-baked, the baked, for the first infusion, isn't really as developed as this one was. I'd say they're all about the same like thickness, like a medium thickness. This one definitely feels thicker. This is the roasted and aged. And this one has a really nice roast, and it almost has like a creaminess to it as well. So I'm gonna drink these off and then I will start the second infusion. So we are back with the second infusion, and you can see how the colors change like from the first infusion to the second infusion. Like this one just got so much more like brighter. It has like some red colors in there. It looks very beautiful, kind of like a black tea almost. Then we have the baked, we have the half-baked, and the Ginseng, and the Ginseng is looking a lot lighter than the half-baked, and then the baked is looking a little bit darker than the half-baked. So this is really cool to see just the level of roasting that a type of like tea, the type of oolong can have, and its effects on color and flavor. So obviously the Ginseng is not roasted at all. We saw those green leaves. The half roasted is just a half roast. It's a light roast. It's meant to bring out some of the deeper floral notes and give it a little bit of a roasted toasted flavor. Then we have the baked and the fully roasted, and they wanted to obviously bring a lot more roasted flavors to the tea. And then we have the roasted and aged, and so you get a nice strong roast on the tea, then you age it, and what that aging does is break down some of the roasted flavor, and it kind of mellows out the whole tea. So we have a couple different production methods and styles, and different production like tools. So you have your tea, and roasting is one tool to get a flavor that you can't get with the tea normally. So and then you have such a variety of different teas that you can produce just from one simple production method, roasting. Then you have aging, that just takes it to another level. So you're layering these production methods in order to hopefully get a more flavorful, better, just different experience. All these teas are very good, but these different methods bring out different characters from the tea that you can't normally have from just picking and producing as usual. So we have the Ginseng, and we'll taste this one. So the second infusion, I let these steep a little bit longer than I normally would, just to bring out a lot of the flavor in the second infusion. And this, the Ginseng tea that we have here, the floralness of this tea is very pronounced. You have that like snapped leaf, sappy, like verdant green flavor, which just tastes so fresh, so like clean. It has a medium thickness, medium to like heavy thickness, but still very bright, very floral, very green. Then we'll go on to the half roasted. The roast on this tea is very beautiful. This tea kind of reminds me of like the genmaicha from Japan, the sencha tea with the roasted rice. The roast on this is so nice. It almost makes it taste like it's very hearty. It's almost brothy. It still has some of the greenness. It has some floral, but not like the bright green floral that we have here. It's more of like a deeper, it's like a deep kind of savory roasted flavor. It's nice, it's thick. We'll go on to the fully roasted. For this tea, I think it's, the roast is there. It doesn't have as much complexity as the half roasted, and I think that's to be expected. The roast is a little bit more prominent, but I don't think it's like overbearing. But what I found with both of these teas, they have a little bit of like a spicy kind of wood, like a spicy kind of woody flavor. It's not too strong, but it's there. and the aftertaste of this tea. I think that's like where this tea shines. In the aftertaste, it's very clean. It just makes your mouth feel very nice and clean. And you get, like, that roast comes out in the aftertaste. It's kind of this weird kind of development of flavor in the mouth. So when you're tasting tea too, it's not just that initial taste. After you swallow, like this tea, the flavors come out and spread around the mouth, and when you breathe out your nose, you like get just more of the like complexities of the tea. So I'd say for initial flavor, this tea, the half roasted, it is very, very good. The initial flavor, the complexity, but this one, you get that roast, and then you also get like an after flavor that's very, very nice and clean. And then we have the roasted and aged. This tea is super thick. The roast on this tea is amazing. The aged kind of brings out that like cooked pu'er kind of like cleanness. I think the aging definitely softened the roast a little bit to make it not so sharp but smooth. It has a smooth aged roasted flavor. And while it's not like specifically fruity, it does have like a kind of sweet fruit, like dark fruit kind of aroma coming out of the cup and in flavor. So it's sweet. It kind of, that leaves like a sweet kind of aftertaste, and you get a little bit of salivation. Similar to like a Da Hong Pao oolong with the minerality, but this, they achieved that like with roast and aging, and that's really nice, and that's a really interesting production method. Going back to the Jinshuan, such a difference. The floralness just becomes more pronounced after going through the roasts and coming back to like the original Jinshuan, which makes for a very interesting experience. These teas were really amazing. I'm so happy that I got to share with you the like effective roast on tea, and there are a whole bunch of, I have a video on Yixing clay and how Yixing clay kind of changes the flavor and smooths out roasted teas, and these teas can all be found on the Yahong Tong company, like on Amazon, and I've been talking with them about bringing some Taiwanese oolongs onto Teas New Jersey. They have a bunch of like really incredible oolong teas, so we'll be talking to them. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.